Have you ever pondered about the role of Albert Einstein, the man synonymous with genius, in the creation of the most destructive weapon in human history, the atomic bomb? Let us delve into the unseen connection between this iconic physicist and the instrument of unparalleled devastation. Albert Einstein, a name that resonates with intellect and innovation, was born in the late 19th century. He dedicated his life to the pursuit of knowledge, forever changing our understanding of the universe with his groundbreaking theory of relativity. This theory, a cornerstone of modern physics, redefined the concept of mass-energy equivalence, encapsulated in the famous equation E equals mc squared. Yet this equation would later become the theoretical backbone for the creation of the atomic bomb, a weapon with the capacity to obliterate entire cities in a flash. We might think that a man of peace like Einstein would have nothing to do with such destructive forces, but history tells us a different story. Let's take a step back to the 1930s, a time of scientific discoveries and political turmoil. Picture a world on the brink of war, where the scientific community was making strides, striving to understand the fundamental forces of nature. In Germany, two scientists, Otto Hahn and Fritz Strassmann, stumbled upon a phenomenal discovery: nuclear fission. They found that when a uranium atom was bombarded with a neutron, it split, releasing an immense amount of energy. This revelation was a double-edged sword. On one hand, it promised a potential source of boundless energy. On the other, it hinted at the possibility of a weapon of unimaginable destruction. Meanwhile, in the United States, a brilliant physicist named Albert Einstein was keeping a wary eye on the political landscape. Einstein, a pacifist by nature, was deeply troubled by the implications of nuclear fission. He foresaw the danger of this discovery falling into the wrong hands, particularly those of Adolf Hitler's Nazi regime. In a move that would forever link his name with the atomic bomb, Einstein penned a letter in 1939 to then-President Franklin Roosevelt. In this letter, he warned the president of the potential for atomic weapons, and the likelihood that Germany was already working towards this end. Einstein urged the United States to accelerate its own research into nuclear energy. His letter, coupled with the confirmation of nuclear fission, sparked a sense of urgency within the United States government. The seeds of what would become the largest secret military project in history were sown. This project, known as the Manhattan Project, brought together some of the brightest minds in physics, including Robert Oppenheimer, Enrico Fermi, and Richard Feynman. Their mission was clear: harness the power of nuclear fission to create a weapon before Germany could. And thus the Manhattan Project was initiated, laying the foundation for the creation of a weapon of unprecedented power. But where does our man Einstein fit into all of this? Well, it's a common misconception that Albert Einstein was a key player in the Manhattan Project, the secretive World War II initiative that led to the creation of the atomic bomb. In fact, Einstein never directly worked on the project, but don't be fooled, his fingerprints are all over it. How so? Let's rewind to the early 20th century. Einstein, with his shock of white hair and trademark mustache, was busy revolutionizing physics. His theory of relativity, E plus mc2, fundamentally changed our understanding of energy and mass. This groundbreaking equation laid the groundwork for nuclear fission, the process that powers an atomic bomb. So, while Einstein didn't craft the bomb himself, his scientific breakthroughs paved the way for its development. An ironic twist of fate for a man who was a known pacifist and spent much of his later life advocating for nuclear disarmament. Einstein the pacifist had inadvertently contributed to a weapon of mass destruction. The atomic bomb's creation has left indelible marks in our history. This powerful force, once unleashed, transformed not just the landscape of warfare, but also the fabric of our societal ethics and moral compass. It was a tool of unimaginable destruction, whose mere existence brought into sharp focus the responsibility mankind held in wielding such power. Einstein's indirect involvement in the creation of this weapon of mass destruction was a source of deep regret for him. He found himself in a paradox, caught between his pursuit of knowledge and the devastating application of that knowledge. His genius had inadvertently opened a path to destruction, a path he never intended to pave. In the aftermath, Einstein was left to reconcile with the profound implications of his actions. He once said, "I made one great mistake in my life, when I signed the letter to President Roosevelt recommending that atom bombs be made." His genius had unlocked a Pandora's box, the consequences of which are still with us today.